Hold up, hold up, hold up. It's that boy G-Planz. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
I'm gonna say this because I was watching Juvenile and Manny Fresh interview YoungBoy mama, Miss Sherhonda,
Okay, I ain't see that one.
and she was
I be
saying
watching
her
this shit.
husband that she was married to didn't even break her heart. The only person ever broke her heart was a dude from the West
The
Bank.
what? Lord,
So
that
she said
fucking
she was.
West.
I think she said the dude was going to Southern or LSU. She got in a fight over him too, or whatever. He put
Lord.
on like Partners in Crime, UNLV. He was putting on all the New Orleans music because she loved rap.
I'm
She loved
sorry,
music.
mom.
Period. So how you feel about knowing that a West Bank dude broke young boy mama heart, and she publicly said this?
Man, we gonna find him and yeah, we gonna fuck with something.
Yeah, it's up.
For real.
She said,
Nah, no, for real though. We got number love for
no, but I'm just
West.
saying, what you think that say about dudes from the West Bank? If somebody
Nah,
like she just was in love with him, she was about that, but she was that much in love with him more than her husband that she was once with.
I mean, everybody know the West Bank where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be too hyped. They be wanting to duck off. And, some nigga jokes, they be wanting to be fly and kick it. You know what I'm saying? You know? Real talk.
Real talk, man.
And I don't know how true this is, but like when I be talking to the OGs and the older people, they be like, man, like at one point in time, like, bitch, if you was from the West Bank, you had that money. Like if a nigga was like, bitch, he out the West Bank, he had a bag. Like you feel me? I try to live up to that.
I remember when I was little, I didn't even know where my railroad was at, but I remember hearing on the radio, MC Thick cruising down the street real slow, because it sounded like an easy. Because like I was saying, like I told G before, I said before, MC before like TT Tucker, DJ Jimmy Blue really with the bounce. You had like the Tim Smooths from Avondale. You had the MC
shout out
Thicks,
Tim
the
Smooth,
Bust
man.
Downs that was with Uncle
Long
Luke
live, one of the
doing
goats.
it before New Orleans. This side really popped off with the bounce. So how you feel about the groundwork that people might have forgot in this generation, but they don't know at one time it was like the West was like P. Tomo said, everybody loved Tim Smooth. He was like the best rapper in the world from this area. I got to have it, baby. I got to get mine.
Yeah, man, from Tim to Bust Down to Thick, like, fuck, I know that shit wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else, what's even dude name? Cause he from G Slim.
G Slim, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of them, like, they was impactful. You know what I'm saying?
Getting into that with not since you brought up G Slim name, and people will think about the gangbanging culture on the West Bank and all that, because it really wasn't a big thing ever really on this side. But on the West Bank, like Wayne said in the interview on Drink Champs, it was mostly gangbanging on the West side.
Sure.
So what would you say, where it was really at or whatever, where people was probably banging the colors?
Honestly, dog, like, what I mean? I got a partner out, Harvey, Harvey was blooded, he always talk about that. Me, I'm from Lincolnshire, you know what I'm saying? So growing up in the Shire, we always threw L's. Even as a child, like all my uncles and shit, they all threw L's. That's children, we throwing L's. And that represent LSD. Most people thought that was for Lincolnshire Drive, but it meant Lincolnshire Deuce. And that Deuce shit, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. So,
Now, since y'all talking about gang coaching and stuff like that, right? I'm the outsider. From an outsider, right? What's the proper way to navigate through New Orleans? Like, don't go on this side or don't wear that or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Man, honestly, I just say like really be yourself and get money and stay out the way. Like, you know what I mean? That's the main thing I say. Like, this bitch a Jost. You can't be too sensitive. If real talk, being sensitive, this bitch a Jost. You gotta laugh some shit off. Feel me?
For sure. But throughout this city, man, you always hear stories about, man, I was walking down the street, shots rang off. Yeah. These hoes fighting over crawfish over here.
Said them hoes fighting over crawfish.
This going on. She's like, you got all this stuff going on. You got somebody probably
that's on baby daddy.
Yeah, like somebody on hard times probably trying to lay on you. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on that you got to be aware of in this city.
That's true, but it's like, it's like that everywhere. But this bitch is different. But you go on Bourbon Street, you gonna see that. You gonna see these hoes fighting. You gonna see this nigga sleep. This nigga walking around dicking off trains. You hear me? Real talk. Yeah. Real shit.
Oh,
you good?
Oh, it's all good. I thought so.
No, real talk though. You gotta keep your head on the swivel when you move through here, man.
For sure, for sure. Now I want to switch it up, man. Let's go into the music.
Okay,
one of the records that I play for me, I like Fruit Loops.
Oh,
that's one of you got a lot of records, but I like Fruit Loops. But I'm gonna say this: say me and GD was talking about it. He was like, "Yo, that's hard."
Shout out DJ.
But shout out DJ. Right. But Daniel got more. That's just something he did.
G.
That's just something he did. I'm like, what? That's just something he did. I'm just telling you because he be spitting.
Real
but
talk,
you know, this was going on in the city. He gonna put a record out for everybody. Like, yeah, you know. What do you have to say about that?
That's really true. See that Fruit Loops took off. It was catchy. It was my first bounce record, and you know, I didn't change my style. The beat changed, but I didn't change. You know, so that thing took off, and we went viral. Actually, the content went viral. So viral content with a great song, it's gonna go up every time. Shout out Q93. I had their support, but I'm definitely a spitter.
And I would definitely say that because when I think about the clubs in New Orleans, it's like the DJs just only playing bounce. So it's like it's hard to get anything else to break in the club because the DJs don't want to mess up the groove of the club. So it's like a lot of times artists got to kind of go in that direction, not because they want to, but it's kind of like you got to compromise just to get radio play. So I think that make it even harder for real rappers to like spitters to really like break through or whatever, because you got to play that kind of, I guess, that game in New Orleans. That's why all the girls got bounce records in the clubs.
That's true. But see, it is also a challenge for artists too. You know what I'm saying? To be able to see if you can, you know, dip in that lane. And there's different other ways to make club bangers as well. You know, because we got people in New Orleans rapping over the BR jig bounce beats too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different ways to get a club banger, but it's definitely a challenge. But me being an actual spitter and I could get in that club too, like, you know, I think that's good. Like,
for sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
But when it comes to just like making music, like my go-to style is for sure like it's like, you know, Drake, J. Cole, you know, but it's hard. It's like I'm spitting that shit.
For sure.